Yo, yo, yo. Good morning, good afternoon, salutations, motherfuckers. I don't know. What up? It's your boy Suitman. I'm here. I'm not queer. Maybe somebody else here is. I don't know. Thank you for tuning in. We're back. It's funny. Last time we recorded an episode, that same night I went to the ER and I got this beautiful scar and a whole bunch of other
Ooh.
scars, and everything's been totally different. So, for those of you who haven't been around, Suitman had two heart surgeries. Woo! Yay! Nobody's happy about that
Sexy,
shit. Yeah, not really.
sexy.
Don't listen to
Damn.
fucking Sylvie. Jesus. Oh, you guys are just gonna act like that today. All right, all right, all right. Like you guys don't know how to act. It's all right. We're back with Dating with Disabilities 35. Today, our guest is a comedian out of California. We've got our usual suspects here. Unfortunately, our sound lady is not here today. Jane Jira had to work. She's got a real job. Everybody go boo.
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 Pay the bills.
Right?
Uh,
Too busy working for the man to pay attention to us, right? So fuck her. No, I'm just joking. Good luck, Jane Shira. I hope you enjoy work. But we're here to talk about dating with disabilities. And I'm going to be honest, I got to do an episode because my disability has totally fucking changed. I'm no longer just deaf and autistic. I'm a heart survivor, which is even worse. I can't even wipe my own ass. No, I'm just joking. I can wipe my own ass.
you are ready for Valentine. Yeah. New heart.
What are we doing? We're just
You got trans
interrupted the
heart.
introduction.
Okay.
What is wrong with you people? You guys act like you haven't been on here before. Jesus Christ. Anyways, we got our co-host
First,
today, all the way out of England. Give it up for Variety D.
Good evening, and welcome to the cold of hell. In Britain, it's not that great here. No, no, it's
Uh,
big and freezing.
That's enough.
But yeah,
This ain't
good to be
this ain't
alive.
a whole
And happy
thing.
New Year.
Oh God. Anyways, up with our next host. Everybody wants to fucking talk today. Every other episode, they knew how to be the fuck quiet. I don't know what's going on. Up
No,
next, we can end this right now. I don't. Up next, our other co-host out of Canada. Give it up for Silvi Santoso.
Oi.
ooh.
See,
yeah,
she
yeah.
got it. At least she got it. Once somebody's finally acting like they know how this shit works. And
Oh.
then last but not least, I think
Uh,
he's out of Sacramento, right? Is it Sacramento? No? Where are you from, Daniel?
Yeah, Sacramento.
I got it right. All the way from Sacramento. He works with a lot of my other friends down there in California. Give it up for Daniel Madrid.
Yeah.
Woo!
Yay.
Tell us a little bit about
Survival.
yourself, Daniel.
Oh, just a local stand-up comic and musician out of Sacramento, California. Actually had a show a couple of nights ago at Stab Comedy Theater. That was pretty good.
Oh.
Now, when you say
Oh.
musician, do you sing? Do you play drums? What do you do?
Yes, that is correct. And I also do some guitar, some ukulele, some keyboard. So I do some keyboard, I do some drumming, I do some singing, I do some guitar, and I do some ukulele, and I dabble in some other things.
We don't want to know about your
Yay,
drug usage, no.
ukulele.
What's the other things?
Yeah, that's it. We don't need to know his other things. Stop it, variety. Jesus Christ.
Too
So
much
what?
variety, man.
Let me ask you, this show is obviously dating with disabilities. So what is your superpower? How are you disabled? What's your special function? Are you just epileptic? What's up with you?
Yeah, epilepsy. I guess I got a touch of the tism. I got some autism, and I guess the main challenge there would be like sensory processing. Um, it's funny because I was at a rave last night, and the noise and the flashing lights actually were not really bothering me too much until I actually went across the street to this diner. I was I was kind of just taking a break from the heat and kind of the sweat and all the body heat of the situation. And I went outside and I went across the street to this diner, and just the indoor lighting of that diner was making me freak out. And it's so just places that have really bright indoor lighting really get to me, like Costco, for example. So I can't go on any dates to Costco. Oh, what a shame, you know.
And just to let you know, you and Variety D are twins. She's had a ton of epileptic seizures. She's got epilepsy on
I was
her
going to
spectrum
mention
of
Costco's. I'm a
a
Costco.
spectrum. You just said you're epileptic. Why are you fucking with me today?
No,
I'm gonna
of
give
course I'm
everybody
epileptic.
a warning. I am not the same since heart surgery, okay? So I can't deal with all the extra,
So your brain's
okay?
not the same as your heart.
It's not the same, okay? So
Feisty, feisty.
I'm not feisty at all. I'm very grumpy.
Oh yeah, okay,
But
grumpy.
so the thing
You're coming
is
out with
it,
that wicked
it
sequel. What's going on?
so it, when you said you're diagnosed epileptic and you might have a little bit of the autism, are those your two disabilities?
Yeah, just the main ones that come to mind. I mean, I had a brain aneurysm
Holy
burst
shit.
back in 2008. Is like oh, what do you call it? An AVM burst, a brain aneurysm rupture.
Oh God, that sounds horrible. I had an aneurysm in between whatever in the fuck I went through. When were you when was your first epileptic moment? When was your first epileptic, what do they call it? Event, right?
Mm, I guess technically it would have been like a deja vu or some weird sensation that went undiagnosed, but I had the brain aneurysm burst in 2008, and then I had my first grand mal seizure in 2011, and then I was
Jesus.
having like one seizure a year for a while. I had one in 2015, and then I went seizure free on medicine for like 7 years. They gave me my driver's license, and then I was driving for like 6 months before I had another seizure, and they took it away again.
And
But
you said you had a
yeah,
grand mal seizure. Are those the only ones you have, or do you have regular seizures too? Or
uh, sometimes I'll have like some sort of weird partial seizure where I feel fine, and then all of a sudden it feels like I'm about to throw up, and then that lasts for a minute, and then I'm fine again, and it's a weird like partial complex seizure. But yeah, that's when you
how?
think of seizure, that's called the grand mal seizure.
Okay, okay. And let me ask you. I mean, you said this is obviously dating with disabilities. Have you ever had a woman be around you when you've had one of these seizures?
Um, Not a woman I was dating. I don't think. Yeah, not yet.
Not yet. Have you? I mean, you make it sound like you've been alone every time you've had a seizure, like you're just having seizures alone and trying to figure it out, or
Oh my gosh. Actually, my first one, I was on a tour of a college in high school, and I had a massive seizure in front of like all the other kids that were touring the college, and like all of the freaking college kids that were trying to get breakfast that morning. So it was in front of a lot of people actually.
oh boy, how that now is that more embarrassing for you, or how do you? So, and I'll give you my reason for asking you that. So, there's this wrestling show that they had come out on Netflix. I don't know if you saw it. You seem like the type that might be a loser like me that still likes wrestling a little bit. But the guy tried to help take over the Ohio Valley Wrestling Association, right? And the guy's a complete dick. He does radio for Kentucky basketball, right? And he was just being a complete asshole. And then he had a seizure in front of everybody.
Oh my
And it
gosh.
it totally like the guy stopped talking and he was twitching and like whatever. And it really changed everybody else's view of him because once you see somebody be vulnerable and see that they're human, kind of like me when I had my surgery, a lot of people are like, "Oh man, I didn't know you were a real person. Like you could get hurt." Like, "Oh." But like you're not such an asshole and people figure out you're not invincible, right? Um, did it change for you? I mean, the guy got out of his, and what I mean by this is when he came out, he was embarrassed. He didn't want to talk about it. He acted like nothing happened. How did you feel coming out of that seizure? Was it like, I don't want to talk to anybody? Was it, I mean, just, and you can tell me no if you don't want to talk about it, but it's got to be pretty, what's the word? Trauma. There's got to be a lot of trauma for you to go through it and then go through it in such a big social setting, right?
Uh, Dude, gosh, I never really thought about it that way. I actually didn't really, because when you have a seizure, you kind of lose memory for part of the time. So I remember uh, kind of falling. I remember feeling like all the blood was draining out of my body and then falling backwards. And then I remember like waking up in the hospital. So I don't really remember any of the embarrassing part, but apparently it was pretty embarrassing because people told me afterwards that I was like trying to stop the paramedics from putting the fucking like neck brace on me.
Oh yeah, I know those feelings. Go ahead.
So it's like, yeah, I could have not known about that. I could have just like been in a naive state and just thought that like nothing embarrassing happened, and then someone had to fucking tell me about that shit. Like, oh yeah, you were trying to prevent the paramedics from putting the head brace on, and I was like, oh shit. I thought nothing embarrassing happened, and now you just had to go and ruin my naivety, whatever you call that.
Well, here's what I would say is, I think the hardest part about what I just went through is there's no so I lost 7 days, right? I went into surgery on the 16th, and the next day I woke up was on the 23rd of December,
Mm.
right? And so me personally, I can tell you I had the blackout. As I've talked through it with some people, I've remembered bits and pieces here and there. But like you said, I came out my first surgery and they're like, "Hey, you got to have heart surgery." And I was like, "No, I don't want to have heart
Oh
surgery."
man.
Because I was like, you guys just cut me open. I don't want to. And then next thing you know, I woke up on the 23rd. So I get that. There's a level of what is it? Incoherentness, right? A level of I mean, I've never had a actual where'd you go? We lost you.
Oh, there we go.
I never had that much. Um at least I guess the good news is it sounds like most of the people that were around you when this happened, they weren't really your friends, correct?
Um, yeah, I think there was like one friend there with me. Yeah, actually, my across the street neighbor. Funny enough, but yeah, all the other people there, I don't really know. Maybe a couple of Facebook friends or something.
Didn't give a fuck about it. Wasn't like it was you and your seven closest friends and the heartthrob of your life. It's not like you were on your third date like I was or anything, you know what I mean? It's all right. It's all right.
Oh, dang. Okay.
Yeah, that was a little different in my situation. Well, let me ask you, do you talk about your epilepsy and your autism in your comedy at all? Has it affected you there?
Oh, absolutely, man. I got jokes about like having a seizure during sex. I have jokes about like being like an autistic person having sex with another autistic person, how there's like freaking chocolate milk stains and goldfish crumbs in the bed and like
Oh
just
God.
all kinds of goofy stuff, man.
I'm
That's
definitely
kind
not
of
sleeping with you, man. I don't do chocolate milk in the bed, bro.
unsanitary, man.
And not only is it unsanitary, it's just wrong. Like I don't we don't bring food in the bed where I'm from. We don't and chocolate syrup,
Yeah.
maybe. A little whipped cream, possibly, but food. Food. So have you actually had a seizure in bed with a girl yet, or is this just something you joke about?
Oh, not yet.
He's like,
Of
I haven't even
course.
got a girl in bed yet. What do you mean? Oh shit, I'm sorry.
Oh man.
He's like, I'm still Team Virgin over here. Woo!
No, I'm pretty lucky. I only have like one seizure per year, and those seizures are usually at home. In fact, I can usually feel the seizures coming on at least a few minutes before they happen. In fact, my last one, I started asking for help like an hour before it happened, and then uh, let's see, I started feeling funny, laid down, asked for help, asked more people for help, called the paramedics, and then they actually took me to the hospital, and I got to the hospital and started feeling like super mega weird, and then I barely remember this, but I actually got into a room before I had the seizure. So it's a weird kind of epilepsy where I can feel things going wrong before I actually start seizing. Uh, but yeah, luckily I haven't actually had a seizure on a date yet.
That sounds like a challenge.
Oh, I know, right? Maybe I could use it to my advantage in bed, the thrusting.
No,
Hmm.
it's not that. So I had a woman have a seizure while I was having sex with her, and I was like, oh yeah, I knocked it out the park. I was like, yeah, she's over here shaking and shit, and I was like, oh yeah, yeah, and then I was, oh, hold on,
I
you
did
okay?
that.
Yeah, oh yeah, it was a huge ego thing at first, and then I was, oh no, this bitch better not die. I don't want to explain this shit. You know what I mean? Like, oh no, hold on, let me get you some help. I guess I
Seriously.
shouldn't be trying to stuff my penis in your mouth right now. That's not a good idea. That's not.
Oh my.
Let me explain, officer. I just have
Yeah,
really good dick.
yeah. That's not the answer, right? I mean, I think for a woman it's a little bit more embarrassing because the seizure, right, can emulate an orgasm or something along those matters if you're having sex. We need you
Oh,
to
that'd be
sit
a good
still,
thing.
fucker.
Sorry, I'm looking for my charger because I just got informed that I got 10% battery.
It's not like he didn't know this podcast was coming or anything, but I
So
remember.
unprepared.
I remember when it was just like, what's going on here? Like, you have to, as a guy, your seizure is going to be different, right? We're going to shake and all that, but that's not a sexual thing when we start shaking and like that is a sexual thing for women. Women can convulse and do all these different things.
Ooh.
So ooh, you didn't know that, huh, Daniel? All right. We're
I
I
mean,
teaching
didn't
I've
know
today.
that.
I've felt some contractions before, but I've never felt convulsions before.
Yeah, well,
Mm.
let
Is
me
it
tell
true?
you. Look at Variety D.
Ah,
Variety D looks like she's got ass. You've never shaken from some penis?
That's what I'm thinking. Like I'm like have like Daniel. Like yeah, you know what? I need to do a remix song of Elton John's song Daniel. You know what I mean? Like Daniel. Just from one epilepsy to another. Remember, I've been diagnosed when I was a little baby with my epilepsy, so mine's different. I had variations of epileptic seizures, but yes, I have had epilepsy, a seizure in bed. Yeah,
ooh.
I've had that, like with a guy in bed, a
And how'd
blackout
that go?
during.
He thought he was knocking that
It,
shit out the park,
it
didn't he?
went very quickly. It went very quickly. He got tired. I had a headache, and I said, "When this headache goes away, we're gonna go again." Listen. I do 5 to 7 pounds minimum. Yeah, because I'm no. Yeah, I'm not on this little 1, 2 in out shake all about and sleep. No,
You said five
I'm
to
I'm
seven
I'm on full demand.
hours?
She's got
Yeah,
Variety D's got issues. She's
with
got to
some
make up for all the time she's
Damn.
single.
with
She
some
goes through
breaks.
droughts. She goes through droughts. So she's just
Shit.
trying to make
I have
up for
high
the.
testosterone. I mean, it's just it happens.
No,
Man,
it doesn't. I
Epilepsy,
can't.
no excuses.
shoot,
Hashtag no epilepsy excuses. NEE. There you go.
man. This
Five
one,
to
one,
seven. Daniel's like,
one.
that's a
Damn.
whole work shift. Like,
Yeah.
I don't want to have to work while I'm having
I have to
sex.
go
Like,
that down the work. Come on, man.
I'm not
Well,
trying to clock in
Be
and
a big
clock
man.
out.
Come on.
it's funny
It's
because
not
I
about.
actually I have an overactive bladder, which makes sex last longer. And so this one woman told me I was going too long because we were going from like 2 a.m. till like 6 a.m. But you're talking about some 5 hour shit, and you're on a whole different level. I don't even know how you
Yes,
accomplish
I'm like
that.
Dragon Ball Z type of, like mega levels, the Super Saiyan. It's just, yeah. I'm not affected by flashing lights. That's the problem. When people say, "Oh, you have epilepsy," "Oh, you can't handle flashes," "Oh, you close your eyes," no, that won't affect me. Just do your thing. Go hard, or go
Yeah.
home.
Okay. So what gets to
You know.
you?
See, Daniel needs to come to England. That's the problem. You Americans
He,
have been
he
hoodwinked.
actually
You need
asked
to
you a
come to
real
England.
question instead of you running your mouth. He said, what affects your epilepsy?
So mine is, like I said, not flashing lights. Mine is dehydration, um, so extreme heat, a
Mm,
sleep deprivation,
yes.
um, and very, very, very loud sounds. Meaning, like not as in human beings, but as in like a big ass speaker, and it's just pumping out music that don't make sense, and you just start having a seizure, or
Oh,
just hate the song.
so no raves for you.
Nope.
You can't go do the
um,
uns.
no, I can't go to the, but you got me inside. Inside. You got to you think there's a balance. You see?
Oh man.
That's weird. You
Okay.
guys, this is like
See,
the
Daniel clocked on
epilepsy
me. I like this. I like this guy.
dating
He
show,
he
right?
clocked on.
We're gonna hook up these two before we're out of here, right? Oh my God! And our prize today
Uh,
is a one-way ticket to England. Yeah. Woo!
like,
Daniel's
hey
like, I don't
man,
know about
you
that.
you want to go do the uns inside of me, baby?
Yes,
Oh,
and do that 7 rounds minimum.
So, wow,
Keep
that's
up
that's
different
quite
positions. Stretch the
demanding
legs.
there, young
Everything
lady.
going on here.
I see why Variety D's single. I now get it. I know she doesn't
I
know
have
when
a
to shut up.
foundation.
She wants 27 hours of penis. There's only 24 hours in the day. Right? If I'm supposed to work, how can I fuck you for 7 hours and get my 8 hours of sleep? Like I don't. Yeah, I'm cool on some Variety D. I think she's a little too demanding. But then again, I think she's one of those that hasn't been with the right guy. The right guy bring out his huge baseball bat and lay her ass one time, and she'd just be laying in the corner, scared, trembling, like, oh, I don't want to know her. I don't want to know her.
I haven't trembled yet, so bring it on. And yeah, we'll see and find out.
I
That's a
love it when
challenge.
Yeah,
A
man.
challenge. Challenge.
Challenge accepted.
that was my heart condition. So Daniel, being
Dang.
in Sacramento, are you like the only? I know there's other disabled comics. Have you been doing any of the disabled shows, or have you got on any of those? Or
Ooh. Um. Yeah, it's funny you mentioned that because I'm probably one of the lowest functioning comics in the scene, and I actually haven't done any of the disabled comedy shows yet. Uh, which I know they're out there. I know there's this guy, James the Cripple, who's in a wheelchair, who at least participates in the disabled comic show. Um, I know they've happened before, but yeah, I actually haven't been booked on them yet.
yeah, my buddy Dan Smith runs one too. He's in a wheelchair. He's married.
Oh,
Yeah, there's a lot of people down there. I love how you called him a cripple. There's also Logan. You know Logan with the legs.
yeah, yeah, Logan Farr.
Yeah, we've had Logan on here too. He was talking about how he loves cat legging women and t acting like he's got real
That
legs. So
cat legging.
is now are you trying to date now? Are you staying with mom and dad? What's the word?
Yeah, both, I guess you would say. Holy crap! I think they're awake right now, so it's kind of embarrassing to say this, but I've de- I've definitely had women in this room. It's just there's a don't ask, don't tell kind of policy. You know what I'm saying?
No, I don't. I've lived on my own for 25 years. I haven't had a don't ask, don't tell anything. It's like tell everybody about this dick. Come on. Uh, how old are you, Daniel?
Oh, 30.
Oh shit, he's young. Okay, that makes sense.
It's
He's
only
like
Oh man.
3 years younger than
2008.
me.
As soon as I hit the big 3-0, I thought I was an old fuck though.
Wait until
Nah.
you reach the 50.
Oh yeah, you hit the big 5-0?
I did.
Watch out, Sylvie's a cougar. She'll wear your little ass out. Yeah,
Very
yeah.
true.
Like,
Very
Oh,
Dang.
tell me about your dates before. How is it difficult to meet women and to convince them to come to your parents' place or something?
Well, let me tell you, when they're 55 years old, they got their
Hey,
own
not
place.
the
damn,
not
damn.
your
That was the last.
designer.
He's telling you the last one was 55 and he went to her place. Yeah, I think that's more what he's getting at. As his last conquest was not somebody young. Uh, uh, are you mentioning this when you're dating? Are you telling people you're epileptic? Is it a conversation you have when you go through your first couple of dates or?
I don't bring it up, but I do talk about it in stand up. So if they hear me talk about it in stand up, then they'll know about it though. Um,
So you
ooh.
don't you don't give them a warning or anything? Hold your camera still.
Oh, there's my shaking.
No, you're moving it all around and looking around the room. We're interviewing you. People are watching this. We want to see your face, buddy.
There we
So
go.
you said you
Two
don't really
hands.
talk about it. Is it because you're why not? Why don't you tell them?
Uh, ooh. I guess I'm just trying to put my best foot forward there.
Hmm.
I guess I don't tell people about epilepsy until I've known them for at least a few months, to be honest. But it's not like I would avoid it in my stand up. I kind of just talk about whatever kind of comes to mind in my stand up. Um, when I'm doing stand up, I'll talk about having epilepsy, having a touch of the tism, having overactive bladder, uh, you know, being with cougars and, uh, epileptic people and like autistic people having sex with each other. And just, I don't let the person I'm there with affect what I talk about in stand up. So if they hear about it in stand up, then they hear about it.
Is that the meaning that all of your dates come from stand up?
I wouldn't say that. Just the last one.
Well, I
And
guess kind of what we're getting at is, I mean, I guess you're young, so you don't understand what we mean, but we're all over 35 to 40. Some of us may be a little older than that. And so there's a
No, I'm 33. Stop it.
anyways, so it's
Mm-mm.
it's funny to hear a younger person because we have our way of dating. We have what we there's no such thing as putting your best foot forward because I don't want to lie. I'm autistic, I'm deaf, and now I've had heart surgery, right? So I'm not going to hide that. I'm going to tell you that first day. Why? Because I don't want to get interested in you and then tell you later and you'd be like, oh, never mind. Ah, right? So
oh dang.
yeah, you've got to think about those things. And you're young, so you really don't care. You're still, lying to bitches, doing whatever you can to get a piece of ass, right? We're not just trying to get pieces of ass, I think, anymore. You get to an age where you want like a relationship, right? You want to, enjoy each other, right? And
Mm.
so I think that's kind of the difference in what me and Sylvia are asking you is like, what's your pattern? And you're like, I don't have a pattern, motherfucker. I just spray and pray. If I get lucky tonight, I get lucky tonight, right? Am I wrong? Is that not what I'm hearing from you? You're not looking for Mrs. Madrid yet?
Ooh, shit. Tough question because like I am looking for Mrs. Madrid, but like it seems like the harder I look for her, the harder she is to find. So I kind of gotta be content, like being single and messing around until I find her. Because if I look too hard for her, I'll end up like marrying the wrong person, or I'll put out like desperate energy, um, or yeah, that's the main thing is I think if I look too hard for it, I'll put out desperate energy, and then woman won't really resonate with that. You know what I mean?
Eh, I don't know. We can agree to disagree. I feel like, I've been married once. I got a girlfriend out of this whole heart surgery thing, right? Um, but I feel like my take on that is to be as authentic as you can. So the fact that
Mm,
it's not about wanting to find Mrs. Madrid. It's about wanting to be as authentic as you can. And the more authentic you are, right? The more authentic the person across from you is going to be, or the faster they're going to get out of your face, right? And what I mean by that, and I'm pretty sure Righty D and Sylvia will understand, is that they're a little bit older. So when you date people our age, we're going to have health issues, right? Once you get over 40, 45, they have some sort of pills in their medicine cabinet. Until last month, I didn't have any, right?
Viagra.
Right?
oh, I carry them with them. I gotta carry pills with me wherever I go, man.
Right? So
Yeah.
if you're taking pills 2 to 3 to 4 times a day and you're telling this lady you're normal, that's not true, right? So
Oh,
it's
okay.
I'm just talking to you is that when you get to our age, woman 40 years old knows you're not perfect anymore, right? As a black guy, as a white guy, you might start having colon issues, right? You're going to start having testosterone issues. Maybe Viagra, since you wanted to throw it out there, is a big deal, which usually isn't until you're 50 or 60, but okay. Maybe you've got
Mm,
heart blood pressure medicine, right? Or you're diabetic and you're shooting up insulin once a day, right? You could be a woman who's got vaginosis and your vagina's dry all the time, right? There's all kinds of things that happen. And then not only that, but they want to know. Like your old lady's going to catch a yeast
mm,
infection and she's got to be able to tell you, I got a yeast infection. You can't just get all scared and run away, right? So I get, look at
mm.
down Variety D's like, that never happens. Oh, it happens. It's the best and the worst
It
of them.
will never happen to me. Stop it.
Oh, God.
No.
Sure.
Me too.
But, sure.
I am
But
33. I have
you,
Vaseline. I have cocoa butter.
great.
No, it's not
Who
happening to me.
cares? But you get to an age, that's not the point of making fun of it, right? The point of it is that people's health changes, right? So the older you get and the more people you're trying to be with, I believe the more open you got to be to like what's really going on with you. If I met a girl right now and didn't told her I just came off heart surgery and that I'm falling apart and all these things, and then 2 to 3 months later we finally get naked and she sees my big old zipper scar, we're gonna have a talk. A
Oh
real woman's
shit.
gonna look at you and be like, "What do you mean?" Right? So that's why I ask is, when you say you don't want to tell them about your seizures, well, what if you had a seizure coming on the second time you saw them? Are you just gonna act, by the way, I have seizures, I gotta go, and they're gonna like are those not things you've ever thought about or
Hmm. Yeah, like when you said be authentic, it made me think about how, I definitely don't lie about anything, but I also don't bring things up uh if they don't need to be brought up. But
so I'm glad you
maybe I
said that.
should.
I had and not only that, but I talked to somebody else about this. If you admit your disabilities up front, you'll disqualify a lot of shitty women.
Mm.
And what I mean by
Yeah.
that is a lot of women don't want to deal with somebody with disabilities. A lot of women have their own prejudices or think just because you have seizures, they're going to have to wipe your ass every other week, right?
Unless you just want a one night stand.
Right.
True.
And the thing
Mm.
that
Yes.
I'm glad you brought up, not saying something is that a lie. So there was a dating video where a woman said, I don't want the truth from you. I want transparency.
Mm.
The truth is telling your girlfriend you're going to lunch with some friends. Transparency is saying I'm going to lunch with Madeline, Madison, and Silvi. They're all three of my coworkers from work.
Yeah.
That way, 6 or 7 hours later, when her friend sees you at lunch, she's not calling up your girlfriend saying, "Hey, I just saw your boyfriend out with three chicks." I know. Kelsey, Kelly, and Silvi. He already told me. Where's your,
Madeline.
right? Where's your girlfriend? Why didn't you
Mm-hmm.
tell me you were going out with three women? Well, I told you I was going to lunch with some coworkers. Yeah, but you didn't tell me there were three hot 25-year-olds,
Dude.
right?
Three
And then
hot
your next
25
response is going to be,
girls.
well, how'd you know they're hot 25-year-olds? And why you got, instead of just having that transparent conversation where you said, hey, I'm going out with three chicks,
Hmm. I see what you're saying there.
right?
What's
And
up?
it's, I mean, imagine your girlfriend goes out for dinner with her ex-boyfriend, right? Well, she said she was going out with her friend. Her ex is still her friend, but if she doesn't tell you it's her ex-boyfriend, you're going to feel some way the next day. And no, I don't believe that's insecurity at all. That's trust, right?
Hmm.
That is not insecurity. It is not insecure to want somebody to give you 100% of the details. Because if you have high anxiety or if you have your own issues or if you've had your own things that have triggered you in the past, your partner should be willing to do the things to avoid triggering those feelings. So it's not the fact that she's upset you went to dinner with three hot girls. It's the fact you didn't tell her that there were going to be three hot girls there.
Hmm.
So now she's had to hear from her friends that you were out with three hot girls, which doesn't sound like a work date, right? And if she's
Yeah.
never been to work, she doesn't know who they are. Well, at least if she knows who they are and she's been to your job and you tell them, in her mind, she knows what the fuck's going on, right?
Hmm.
I know I became such a
Yeah.
better fucking man since surgery. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, and she can tell her friends, stop snitching, get your own man, mind your business, go to Popeyes or McDonald's. Like them type of friends, they just want trouble, they want drama.
You said
I just
pot pies?
Popeyes.
Yes,
Oh, Popeyes. I thought there was a
yeah,
restaurant in
we say
England called
Popeyes. Yeah,
Pot Pies. I'm like,
mhm,
man, I want to go to Pot Pies. That sounds delicious.
yeah,
Well, so you don't have a girlfriend, you don't have any kids. I'm assuming that then, right?
Yeah.
But have you ever get a girlfriend before?
Yeah. Ooh, dang. Not to whatchamacallit? What am I trying to say here? Not to like um
Bragging. Like,
not to like not to spray my whole life story on you or anything, but actually my last monogamous whatever my last official exclusive relationship was actually my senior year of high school, and then
oh,
I just been kind of getting to know people ever since then.
dancing
uh
around.
you know how it is. Actually had a pretty bad heartbreak uh a year or two ago, and sometimes yes it's sometimes that's how it goes. Sometimes you can let yourself fall too hard too fast for someone, and you can get heartbroken even though you were never officially dating them.
So
But
yeah, let's talk about that because this is what we're here for. How did that happen?
please. Mm-hmm.
Whose fault
oh,
was that? Stop moving around and sit
what?
still, fucker. Goddamn.
You're making the tism go off.
You
Yeah, shit.
asked to be on this podcast and you didn't watch episode, you didn't figure out what we were going to ask you some real questions. Yeah. We're
Yep.
trying to
Shout out
explain
to
to
the
people what it's
autism.
like dating with disabilities. So yeah, we're going to ask you
Mm-hmm.
some personal shit, buddy. So what
Okay.
happened?
Oh man. So if you want the kind of the explanation of it, I was raised to believe in like prophetic dreams, and I had what I thought was a prophetic dream like right before meeting someone. Like I had a dream that I would meet someone that like made me laugh my ass off. Like I had a dream I was on like a lunch date with some woman who was just making me laugh so hard that like I had to spit my food out to like prevent me from choking. And then during that dream, I realized I was dreaming and that I had to wake up. And like a day or two later, I met a woman who made me laugh like really fucking hard all night. She was just a very funny person. And I was like, oh, this is the person that I dreamed about. So it must be meant to be, and blah, blah, blah. And then I continued hanging out with her for a few months after that. And uh, let's see, we had plans to go see a music show, and she kind of bailed on it. And she told me it was because she's like, oh, if you're just being friends with me because you want to date me, then you're being friends with me for the wrong reason. And she, uh, she kind of got a little spooked, and she had her own issues, like the last guy she got involved with killed himself. And so
Ooh.
that's one of the reasons she didn't want to get involved with any guy. And
So it sounds like transparency might have been a problem, huh?
Mm.
hmm, well,
I'm just I'm
I
just saying, I mean,
guess.
he said, I guess I don't want to take any responsibility here. I right?
Well,
Like now that you say it like that, I guess it was my fault, right? Well, no, and I say this too
shit.
because part part of the show is we've had one guest on here who came out as gay, right? And
Oh,
then now
he realize he was gay during the show?
again, we're not going to talk down about it. We're going to say he
No,
came out
no.
as gay. When you say realize, it makes it sound, don't say it like that. But he decided to come out as being bisexual. And we did an interview on him last year, and he's the happiest he's ever been since coming out on our show, right? And he stopped talking to us on the show for a while and felt bad because his parents made him feel bad about coming out on our show and all these different things. But my point in saying that is we've taught, not so much taught, but we've had people realize a lot of shit about themselves, how they want to date and what they want to do, right? Ourselves included, right? So with that being said, I think everybody on here has had a light bulb moment. Sylvie figured out she likes the young ones. Variety
Oh.
D, Variety D. Yeah, Sylvie told us very early. I fucked this 25-year-old. It was actually fun, man.
Hey.
Hey, well, we forgot. I haven't forgot about that at the conference. Yeah, we all
Oh
remember
my
Sylvie. Come
Yeah.
on,
gosh.
right? And she's been on the prowl ever since, right? Variety D has
Oh,
figured
from day
out.
one.
Variety D has figured out that she wants to be aggressive with her man and she won't be quiet about it. And if they can't handle it, oh well, right?
I'm not
Jane,
aggressive. I'm just
yeah,
a
that's a
Oh
lie.
challenger.
man.
That's a lie. That's a lie. Jane Jira figured out that she likes white guys. She doesn't know why. Her mom's Thai, everybody's Thai, but she's like, I got this thing for weird white guys, right? So, and for me, it's been a
For
realization.
weird white guys.
Yes, that's her taste, right? So we've all had to figure things out. In your case, it sounds like maybe the idea of being more authentic, telling them up front, hey, I'm looking for like a serious relationship or I'm just trying to bang bang, get out of here. Um, a lot of women won't mind that. Like Sylvia will tell you if a young guy came up to her and say, hey, you trying to hook up? She's either gonna say yes, she's gonna say no. Am I wrong? You gonna say no to
Yeah,
all of them, right?
I'll say no. Yeah.
Okay.
Right?
See, I've been conditioned to believe that there's supposed to be more subtlety to it. Like you're supposed to say something like, "Hey, would you want to like come over and watch Netflix or something like that?"
No. You
Netflix
know
and chill.
why?
That's so old.
Because there's a woman out there that's autistic who just wants to come over and watch Netflix. And
Yes.
then when you go to touch her, she's going, what the fuck is wrong with you?
Like literally. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, so I'll give you my example. I'm autistic, right? And I had a girlfriend who wanted to do lingerie and Legos, right? And so we spent an
Whoa.
hour going to getting lingerie. So I put it on and I was like, okay, I'm done. When do we get to play with Legos? Like I want to play with my Legos. Like, and she was so offended. And I was like, I'm not really a lingerie person. I was here for the Legos. Like I wanted to can we start
Damn.
and her feelings were all hurt. I was like, I didn't want to buy these crotchless underwear anyways. These things are uncomfortable. I barely fit in them. Like, I can just show you my dick if that's what you want to see, right? So That's why I say, when you think about these things and you tell me you met a girl who was in a bad place and her last boyfriend was suicidal, you run from that. Like as a guy, that should have been your first. That's like 12 red flags. Like, first off, how bad were you that your last boyfriend didn't want to at least get a blowjob before he died, right? Like, I'm just, damn, too soon, right?
Yeah, too
Wait,
soon. It might not be about the girlfriend.
Uh,
Oh,
oh, I can say, when I say bad shit, it's oh, when y'all do it,
Well,
it's
maybe
oh.
he did.
right?
Maybe
Maybe
he
he
did
did,
get
maybe
a
he did.
maybe he did get a blowjob before he
Maybe that's
died.
why he killed himself. The blowjob wasn't what it's all cracked up to be.
Oh my
No,
evil.
god.
disappointment can be a motherfucker, right? But my thing is like when you say these, oh, we lost Daniel. His phone probably died. Damn it. Well, I guess Daniel's gone. Daniel's phone died. His phone has a,
Nah,
had a seizure.
his phone got
Um,
blue balls. No.
his phone had a seizure. Uh, it,
Yes.
any, since we've got 10 minutes left in the show, I think, or 5 minutes or whatever, how have you guys been doing? What's your dating life like these days, Variety D? We'll start with you.
Listen, I had to have a moment like to this month because last year was an explore. It's like explore 2024. Also, it's connected with my little segment set 323 explore 24 thrive 25 new video YouTube. So I dated 7 guys last year, 3 in Scotland, 4 in England, and they're between the ages of 28 and 55. Oh my gosh, the experience is something. It is something that I can put on my memoir when I become 64. Like, yeah, it's
What was your age
it was
range
definitely
again?
one of those.
How old
28 to
was it?
20,
55.
28 and 55.
That's like you were fucking somebody and their dad. I mean, that's a
Don't
huge.
say so, man. Listen, I even know this guy, this incredible man, the 55-year-old. I know his daughters, and it's like, damn, man. I didn't know that he was their dad. That was the thing. It was like, yo, you're that you helped produce with the damn.
So you
But they
played
all
with the
cool though.
penis that made your friends, huh? That's kind of gross. Playing with
Yeah,
an
but at the
old
same
dick.
time, it's a bit of a mind, kind of thing. I was like, yo. Mm-mm.
Did you
So
think about
I
he
learned
was
my lesson.
he was old enough to be your daddy? You know what I mean? Don't just call
He's
him.
basically 3, 4 years older than my mum. He met my mum. My mum's cool like with him as well. Like they both high five, and I'm like, you know what? This is
He's
yeah.
probably looking at your mom going, I've never done a daughter and a mom. Like this is
So
Oh.
that's what goes to my mind. I'm like, yo, I've seen those films. I'm like, nah, you know what? I'm all right. I'm gonna take a moment. And also to be serious, later on this on in February, I'm gonna be at a place called Maudsley Hospital, which is well known as the madhouse of London, due to my bereavement. I lost my gran and a couple of family members and friends in 2024. So it's been a rock and roll type of life last year. So I have to calm down my brain, my mind, my body, my vagina. I have to calm down everything and put it on hold.
everything, huh? Islander came out
Yeah,
everything.
my Jamaican as well. Everything on hold in a hold it, boom, boom. Yeah, there we go. Go hold it. Yeah, hold it down. Yeah.
You're hilarious. Sylvie, what's your dating life right now? You got a couple of young ones you're
No, no, no,
gnawing on
no.
some young bones these days? What's
No,
going on?
I've been with the guy for like 14 years. It's a long distance relationship.
Wow.
We took a break a bit last year, and then we come back again at the end of this last year.
Of course, for the
So
holidays. Nobody wants to be cold on Christmas, you know what I mean?
um not for that reason.
Uh-oh.
Not for that reason. But yeah, it's just like I don't know. It's just kind of maybe become comfortable or something. I don't know. I'm still
I,
thinking about that. Old what you call that, old couples
they're
feelings.
they're just in a relationship because they're scared to get anybody. Oh, That part. Never mind. I don't mean to be mean, but yeah, you're contemplating if you're just staying together because it's easy, or if you're actually
Mm-hmm.
staying together because you like him, right? Or are you staying together
Mm-hmm.
just because it's convenient?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's got to be a when before my mom died, she was with the old guy because my mom died about 8 years ago. How old are you, Sylvie? You're young, just turned 50, right?
No, I'm 56.
Oh shit. Okay. So you're older than my mom was when she passed, right? And when she passed, she's about 54 and she's dating this old fucker. And I don't even know, like, does love matter at that age? And I used to ask her, like, do you even love this guy? Like, do you look at him and feel like you're happy being with him? Or are you just
Mm-hmm.
like, yeah, I got somebody else to pay half the fucking bills, right? Like, and in your case, I'm not trying to say it's the same, but I think
Mm-hmm.
those are the things you go through once you get to a certain age. If you're not in love, like, why are we doing this? Is there something better? Do I want to reset the clock? You know, there's 30-year-old guys like Daniel out there that'll knock the box
Yeah.
out for a night, right? That made you laugh too hard. You're like, no, that's not what you want either, huh? You don't want a one
No,
night stand. You're not looking for somebody to come by and hit it and quit it. No.
nah,
Mm.
it's too much. Like Daniel's almost the same age as my son.
Hey, so
Well,
was fucking Dominique's the same age as her last boyfriend, it sounded like, right? What's wrong with that?
listen, yeah. My one has a daughter that's 2 years older than me, and I've got to celebrate her birthday. Like she's, 35, and I'm
I guess it's
33. So
I guess it's different for women, right? Like women feel a level of respect and need to have somebody their age, whereas men are just feeling like, hey, I got this young hot thing. Look at me. I must be great.
no,
I
but
guess
I
for
do have Electra syndrome though. Have you heard of
okay.
that?
No.
What?
Electra is where you have someone because my dad passed away. Well, my stepdad, but passed away 10 years ago this year. So I have Electra syndrome where you get a man that kind of resembles or has an element of your father. So it's like,
Oh,
see what I'm saying?
No.
So the man is more. It's called Oedipus syndrome.
Oedipus complex. Yeah.
Yeah. So the
Mm.
woman is Electra. So I'm not making it
Okay.
up. You can go Google. But
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah. So I have that, and I was like, yeah, this is really something. Gotta go to the madhouse, aka Mosley. Thank you.
Well, in my
So
case, and I'll just tell it so we can get over with and end the video. I had a woman with me before I had my whole episode that sent me to the hospital. And we were
Oh.
actually having a great time and we had both reached that peak. And then my heart gave out. And so we were joking at the hospital that at least she came before we went to the hospital, right? And the worst part was is it was our third date. So it was like, is this chick really gonna come back? I had to give her, she had the keys to my house, so she stayed at my house the first couple days because I didn't know it was wrong. I just went in because my leg stopped, I stopped being able to feel my leg. So next thing you know,
Mm.
3 days later, I've had a femoral bypass, which is where they um, link the artery in your right leg to your left leg by making two slits in your groin. And then she came to see me when that happened. And then the next day I had my quad bypass. So she got to meet my dad, some of my friends. She was at the hospital. She had to explain to who my dad was, right? And then I guess she felt like this was kind of all her fault in a sense, right? And it was like, no, I would say the fact that I'm alive is your fault. Um, my heart exploded while I was in the hospital. If she wouldn't have been there, I probably would have been stubborn when my leg wasn't working and been like, oh, it'll come back. And all this would have happened. And I probably wouldn't have went to the hospital as fast and got the proper treatment. So I had to tell the girl that I'm now talking to, dating, that you saved my life, not that you endangered my life. So
hey,
that's been dating
Ooh.
with
you got
disabilities
yourself an
35.
intro.
Oh, cool. We can add them right before we end. Give it up for our co-host, Silvi Santoso.
Woo!
Yeah. Hi, Daniel.
Yeah, yeah,
Back.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Give it up for our other co-host, Variety D.
Yeah, big love. Good evening. God bless. Good night from England. Yes.
And last but not least, give it up for our most unprepared guest of the evening. Give it
Ah!
up for Dan.
Sorry, my phone died.
Oh, we
Yeah,
know,
we
we
missed
know,
it.
we figured it out. And I've
We're
been your
glad
host
you're
today,
alive.
Duante Suitman Barnett. remember, the biggest thing we talk about on here is being transparent. Be transparent about your disabilities. Be transparent
Of
about
course.
what you want. Be transparent about what you're looking for. Shit, be transparent about what kind of kinks you like. Nobody wants to find out you're a dominatrix on the second
Ah!
date. You know what I mean? Like, why are you
Right.
hitting me with a
You're
whip?
right.
My generation, my slave ancestors don't like this. No me gusta. I'm not
Dad,
into this.
how do
So
you bring
thank you.
that up in conversation?
Thank you for tuning in. Have a great day, everybody, and thank you.